Well, hey guys, how's everybody doing? Thank you so much for being here. Jackson, what are you doing? Here, hang on. There you go, Jackson. All right. I had a little treat to bribe me with. Eat your food. Eat your food, Jackson. I have to do my show. Okay? All right, guys. Hey, Mayor, thanks for being here, bud. You are first to comment today. All right. Welcome to the hour. Welcome to the afternoon live stream. Let's do it like this. Why don't we like this? All right, so now we're in business. So, well, not really. Gosh darn it. All right, I was just checking out the post market. S&P closed at 695.42. It's trading at 696.34, or maybe close. I mean, it's closed again. It closes at 5 o'clock, but it closes 696.34. So it's up. What is that? Like 92 cents, I bet. Uh, yeah, I think that's 92 cents. Anyway, that's pretty dang good. And of course, the reason is, as I'm sure somebody's putting in the comments, because Tesla did really well on earnings. And I mean, I think that's part of it, although Tesla's not, yeah, that's definitely helping. And also, I believe, let's look at, so Tesla's up after hours posting. Look at Microsoft is down after hours. So Microsoft is getting hurt though. So, um, let's look at the Nasdaq after hours, and let's see if the Nasdaq futures index how it reacted to the Tesla news after hours. You have to put on a shorter time frame. Let's just put on about a 5 minute time frame and kind of see. Tesla announced at like 4:10 or so. I was watching it, 4:15 maybe, I think. So is when they announced. It probably went both ways. I mean, look at, so these are 5 minute charts. What's this right here? So that's 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock actually, 4 o'clock my time, and this is 4:05. So sometime in there it was announced. Um, and then the Nasdaq went from 26.1 to 26.2.5. So that's a pretty nice move in the futures market. Let's put it on a 30 minute chart and get a little bit longer term perspective. All right, so that's a little bit longer term perspective for us right there. All right, so now let's look at the divas. Let's talk about these divas. Um, where are the divas? Right here, copy of the divas. So daily percent change. Let's check that out. Um, I mean, great job, ULTI. Is that right? Is ULTI up 3.73? I guess we need to look at those before we come here, but just looking at them as a group, I like to look at the divas and the understudies as a group on a daily basis and just kind of get the feel of the market. And past 2 days have been pretty dang good. We, better than the 3 or 4 days, better than the 5 days before that. So anyway, we need to, hopefully we'll re-break out, and hopefully we will. Now let's look at it on a more of a, let's drill down and look at it on a rolling total return basis. So here we have Chippy up 13.6, SPY up 1.9, but if the futures still open up, that'll probably go up in the morning. Qs up, the Qs are up. This is since inception, so since October 31st, since this Diversified Divas spreadsheet started. And so it's been going, now it's been going November, December, and January. So this is 1 quarter. So this is 1 quarter's worth of data that we've been looking at on all these funds. Anyway, number 2 SPY, number 3 is Qs, number 4 is QLDY, number 5 is K yield, Number 6 is GPTY. Number 7 is LFGY. Blocks. You guys get the gist. Yeah, I get it. Let's go look at gold. I can't believe I didn't look at gold. I can't believe I didn't look at gold. All right, so gold finished on the highs. I mean, gosh darn it. I mean, all these bullish gaps are opportunities just begging you to get long. Anyway, I didn't do it. I mean, I always ration. If it goes up, I have K gold, but man, I should have got some call options too. Anyway, all right. Well, there's gold. Um, let's check out gold futures. And they are, I think, closed at this hour, but they also finished on their highs. Well on their highs. I mean, just so let's check out silver futures. What are silver futures? I say this I always forget every night. SI. All right. I'll remember tomorrow night. SI. Okay, so silver futures also closed close to their highs. They have another previous high they're contending with up here. Anyway, this thing's a monster. I looked at selling half my position today, but it's not worth it. I don't have enough to, I mean, anyway. I might still. I mean, money management's always good. It actually doesn't matter how much you have. I mean, I actually have an idea. For now, I'm going to hold on to Case Hill. But I mean, I was tempted to take half of it off and make it a risk-free position. I wonder if it keeps running. Wonder if it doubles from here, and it could. I'll be so mad. Anyway, whatever. It's anyway. All right. But yeah, there's old Case Hill finished on the highs. All right, let's see who else here. So Mayor's first comment. We got DGen here. We got Mayor DGen here. Mayor DGen talking to each other. We got Bikerman here. Hey, Bikerman. Okay, Andre, we can address that. I'll put that comment up on the screen so people can see it. Andre's trying to get a campaign for a fun family to come out with a semiconductor phone like Chippy, but you're afraid YieldMax might mess it up. Okay, I get it. So you've reached out to Tap Alpha Amplify. So what do you think? But YieldMax has Chippy, and what's the matter with the one they have out? You know, like that one. You want one that's like Chippy but pays a higher yield, or Soxy the one that pays? I mean, I get it. I get they might mess it up, but they sure haven't messed up Chippy and Soxy. You know. But yeah, I mean, here's what we be here tomorrow, and Matthew Tuttle's going to be on my show on Friday, and also if you go to my Discord, there's a place to leave comments. Let's ask Matthew Tuttle about it. I mean, I'm all about diversity. Diversity's our strength, right, or whatever they always say. I'm just joking. All right, Mayor sold some K gold in case of I knew I should have. Mayor did it, and now it's going to open way down tomorrow. I'm even mad. I'll be happy for Mayor though. Okay, so I really need something to replace it with. If it's going to make my allocation to gold and silver too low, inflation's too high. I want my allocation to gold and silver to stay up. Even if I sell that one, I'm going to have to find something to replace it with. So anyway, I'll do that on my own time. Maybe I'll find a closed-end fund that follows silver or something, put it into one of those Sprott funds or something. I don't know. All right, we got Jeff in the house. Wonderful, from the beautiful state of South Carolina. Andre, you're just afraid. Yeah, no, I got it. I'm with you on all that. Okay, SEMY pays massive and is positive. I haven't even heard of SEMY. What the heck is SEMY? What do you guys just making up these things? I think these fund managers I think you guys sit around and just make up fake tickers, do it. I mean, where did this even come from? No, I'm just joking, Granny says. I did hear about this about 2 months ago, and I forgot about it. All right, yeah, well, heck yeah. So here's the problem, though. If there's anyone that could screw up a fund worse than YieldMax, it's Granite Shares, though, right? And no disrespect, I love Granite Shares, and I actually made out like abandoned in WiSpy. WiSpy did fine, but it's also because I bought it in April and sold it this summer, into the highs. or anyway, into what I thought was the highs. I should have kept the darn thing, right? Shows how smart I am. Anyway, all right. Well, yeah, Mayor, on the inverse income fund, absolutely. Um, we love one. I think that he's going to have a no bleed Taurus. I'm going to refresh that question. We're going to ask that to him again. I mean, absolutely. There needs to be. I'm fairly happy with my triple Q and salty, whatever. But I would love to have another choice. Absolutely. And what about a fund that does lightning spreads in both directions, so it has unlimited upside and unlimited downside? Just or so what I'm. So that's still a different strategy. That's a long volatility fund. But anyway, but believe me, I'm gonna put that question to it, Mayor. But I like that one. So you sold IAUI to buy more K gold. So maybe I should do something like that. Maybe sell KSIL because it's kind of levered a little bit. I mean, and then buy a more conservative silver surrogate. I mean, I thought about just switching to a more conservative surrogate, or heck, I could just go into silver also. That'd be a really conservative way to do it, you know. But anyway, I mean, or that'd be another option. I don't know that I want to do that, but all right. You don't touch grandchildren. I know it. That's what I was going to say. If there's anyone that could screw it up, you're talking about people that could screw it up. And I know what you mean, screw up the NAV. It's grandchildren and Yomax. But like I say, I'm just joking. Both of those companies have a few good funds also, but they have some bad ones as well. All right, I'm upset that YMAX has hit a wall, or is at a wall, or whatever. Yeah, every day there has been a constituent selling 5 to 7% down. So let's look at that. Let's talk about that really quick. Um, let's look at WPay versus YMAX because that's a fair comparison. And I was happy with WPay, and I bought it, and I kept saying I liked it and stuff. I liked the idea of it. But I sold all of it, as you guys know. No big deal though. I wanted to get something a little better. But I want to see, is YMAX beating WPay? Should have I been in Y? I mean, not really. And WPay was doing a lot better this summer. WPay was doing a lot better at the same time Alti was doing. Well, no, that's not even this summer. That's this fall. Okay, that's into the October rally. That October rally was legit, though. But it looks to me like maybe WPay is more levered to Bitcoin than YMAX is, or maybe just the fact that WPay has 20% leverage. It looks like it's about a 20%. They dropped a little bit. Hard to tell. It looks like they probably did drop a little bit further. Right now, they're both at about the same spot, but you're right. So it's a problem with both of them. I don't think it's anything WPay is doing wrong. I mean, because both of them have, I guess, micro strategies, and MicroStrategy surrogates to or both of them have basically the same companies, so anyway. But yeah, I'm sorry about that. Tiger. AMDW better than Chippy currently. Yeah, you're more concentrated, but it's the same business. You're fishing from the same pond. You just have one company instead of multiple companies. But yeah, AMDW. I mean, but heck, also to be fair though, but also like I said, to be fair, AMDW is based on one company, where Chippy's based on multiple companies, and also AMDW has leverage. But yeah, heck yeah, it's doing better than Chippy. It's doing great. You're about to switch over to K yield from YieldMax. You were just watching K yield for a while. Yeah, I boosted my K yield the other day. I mean, I bought a starter position at first, and then sometime I tried to buy the dip back in November and bought a little more, and then I bought some more the other day. But yeah, I'm real happy with K yield. All right, Bikerman, what are you talking about here? Anyone else listening to Michael Oliver from Momentum Structural Analysis. That was good. Well, I love momentum analysis. And I love the structural type stuff, like market profile stuff. It sounds right in my alley, but no, I'm not. Maybe share the link or something, or if you're in Discord, share it in there. We have a place in Discord to load videos, but I couldn't find it the other day. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Media. But you can go on Media and load a video from whoever. Let's see. Case-Hill outperformed. So yeah, that's crazy right there. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, you want a new idea for Matthew? Short dollar, or I get the dollar decline, so I bought a 3 short, long euro to play to play the dollar decline. Yeah. Hey Mark, thanks for being here, bud. WPay should have, yes. Though in all their funds, dude, with me, I just am in love with the concept of it. Why didn't somebody come out with the freaking with a fund of funds with all of them in it? Put all the yield max, all the rest, put every fund in it, like an S&P 500, but all of these, and you could buy this, and you have 1% of all of these funds or whatever, or you have or maybe it's cap weighted. But if it's cap weighted, that means you would basically have a lot of JEPI and a lot of SPY. You could buy a lot, but then you would also get, some of the higher ones in there. I don't know. I mean, more the merrier. Diversification's good. Anyway, seems like WPay is only leverages down. Yeah, it does seem like that. But to be fair, look at this chart right here, because WiMAX, WPay does catch extra upside, but I get you. It seems to be going down, extra hard. Chippy killing Simi. Okay, well, so yeah, what's the deal with Simi? So that's Granite shares. I mean, and I didn't know about it. I just forgot about that. So let's see. Yeah, looks like Chippy maybe even dropped a little less in the pullback for what it's, small sample size. I mean, it's since November, so we'll, we'll reserve judgment a little bit. What about Chippy and Soxy? Which one do you guys like there, Chippy? I'm guessing this is just your classic example of no free money. You can take Soxy and get about a third of the dividend. Or it looks like 5. Yeah, about a third of the dividend. But Soxy's beating Chippy in total return the whole way, the entire time. Or, back from May, June, July, all the way up, still beating it. So that's just, and the difference is, I bet you if you looked at it, the difference is the difference in the dividend. I mean, because there's no free money. You know what I'm saying. Money's neither created nor destroyed. It just changes hands, or basically, in the market, it seems to. It goes from the strong hands to the weak hands. Anyway, okay. So Jeff out there in South Carolina sold him a little 12K of WPay to Silvo and K Gold weeks ago, never looking back. SoCal Steve, thanks. Heck yeah. SoCal's a good guy. I watch his content sometimes and talk with him on Twitter. Him and I disagree about one little thing. I mean, nothing major, but on Twitter we agree to disagree about saying, but 99% of everything we agree about. All right, Mayor. We just had a 2-year-long war and our currency held up. Yeah, good point. Good point. All right. So, Andre, that semiconductor sector is going to make a lot of people rich. Yeah, AI. I mean, don't you also think the same thing about probably nuclear energy or anything maybe not anything in the AI infrastructure, but you remember when the .com happened? Yeah, of course, the obvious ones were Amazon and eBay and Google, and Yahoo or whatever. And of course, those made millions. But think how much money was made in the Broadcom and networking companies and the infrastructure, the build out of the internet and the, the pipes that run the internet. And I mean, so it is going to be the same thing with AI. But .com created billionaires all over the place, not just with website people, and more, ancillary industries, mainly communication, but anyway, and then that whole thing kind of merged into social media, which is that, and now we have, and then that's kind of merging, it's also crazy now, but yeah, semiconductors are the perfect, you have to have a semiconductor to have to have anything. I mean, semiconductors are but are one of the main things. All right. Mayor says, I would have XLKI as an income tech play. That's nice. Yeah. I mean, XLKI, I mean, yeah, because it's based on the XLK, which is of course, the Standard & Poor's Technology Index. So, I mean, Standard & Poor's knows how to build an index. And then they just sell options real conservatively on top of that. Yeah. Let's see how it hasn't been around that long. I think it came out the last day of July. So, but it's less than a year old. But let's see how it's holding up against what's another fair tech fund to compare to. What about FEPI? FEPI's a tech fund. Something like FEPI. Yeah. I mean, that looks really close. They both look pretty good, but XLKI edges it out. Well, so how long? XLKI beats that one, beats Big Y. Let's see if XLKI can beat QDTE or something, which is a really good fund in its own right. And it can. Yeah, it's a good call, Mayor. It's a good call. Need to pay more attention to that one. Okay, give me the ticker of the triple leverage semiconductor fund, and I will. If you know it, give it to me. And I was going to ask Mayor something in the meantime. Or I was going to ask everyone something. Have you guys heard they're coming out daily options soon on individual stocks? They're going to 3 days a week first, and I think it's on the Mag 7. But I think it's also on a couple of indexes. Of course, the SPY already has daily. One of the indexes, or I think one of them is IBIT, but it's on a couple of things other than the Mag 7. One of them is a Bitcoin surrogate. I think it is IBIT. Pretty sure. IBIT's going to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I believe XLK is going to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now, these guys over here at XLKI are doing monthly options and stuff. It may not affect them that much, but for traders, for guys like you guys that like to, that maybe want to sell some puts to maybe build a position in XLK, I mean, XLK might be kind of a nice trading instrument. I've never traded it before, but it has to have something going on, or they wouldn't be making it go to 3 days a week. I've never heard of anyone trading it, but I bet people start trading it and then the next step is daily, So I've often said someday they'll have hourly expirations. I'm kind of joking, but I'm also kind of not. I mean, I think probably not. I'm just joking. They'll probably have Saturday and Sunday expirations someday. Someday they'll have 7 day week expiration. And someday the market will be open 24/7. And maybe they'll have like a noon expiration. I wouldn't be surprised if you could start selling a lunch option. Yeah, I'm going to sell. I sold a put spread in the SPY for Monday at lunch. I sold some Monday lunch puts, and that could. I wouldn't be at all surprised if they because it's all a matter of automation and computers at this point, and they can do anything. And now the commissions are free, and so anyway. All right. Soxel. All right. Soxel. Now, what do you want me to do with Soxel? Let's see how Soxel does against XLKI. Oh, look at that. Heck yes. Yeah. What did you want to talk about Soxel? So, Soxel's the 3 times long, right? Okay. That's, yeah, L for long. Socks, or it's socks, right? SOX. Right? Is this? Yeah, there you go. There's your 3-time leverage short. Well, it looks like it's ready for a bounce, right? I mean, it's definitely oversold down here. Maybe. Oh gosh. All right. Mark is saying it seems to him that I like this setup so much better. Anyway, seems to me that would be the natural progression. Yeah. Next comes to 23. Yeah. 23. 23.7 or 23.5 on everything is next. Absolutely. Someday it'll be 23.7 or 20 or and I think it may be not now in the New York Stock Exchange. Maybe that'll never happen, but somebody might tokenize it like Coinbase and do it anyway, or and do it or something like that. Um, so Marcus would know all about the daily funds. Yes, absolutely. Marcus knows all about all the funds. Hey, Brad, how are you doing there? Mr. BR in the house. You put on any good trades today, BR? You have a good trade you want to tell us about? Take off a big winner or anything? Jeff, okay, Jeff, what are you saying here? You will trade hourly when stocks are, yeah, oh yeah, exactly, exactly. It'll probably be, I mean, yeah. I mean, can you imagine the level of degeneracy? The level of degeneracy is already bad, and I'm laughing at it, but it's a serious thing. I mean, I had a little bit of that in my blood when I was a younger guy. I mean, but so I'm not laughing. I mean, I get it, but yeah, it'll be trouble for some people because the action will be just hard to turn away from. But yeah, I absolutely agree with that. So I'm hoping BR is going to give us a trade story. So we'll see. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for BR to give us a trade story, did we even look at I want to check out I don't think we checked out the divas on the charts. I mean, Alt-I is doing a lot better job. I mean, if it just wouldn't put itself in such a dang hole. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see on that one. Let's every once in a while I think it's good to look at the dailies and just and even the moving averages and just see. Okay, Alti hasn't been around long enough for moving averages yet, but let's look at Alt Y. Can it take back its moving average? It's yeah. Oh shoot, hang on. I mean, I think the moving averages crosses don't mean anything. They're always super late. But I just think what side of the market the moving average is on means a lot more than the cross. Well, anyway, obviously it's been tough for Alti fanboys ever since November 4th. It fell off it fell out of it. I think that's when I sold another third of it. Was when that happened. But anyway, whatever. And then it got worse from there. However, though, just like back in April, I mean, nothing lasts forever. And now it's climbing the wall back up this other way. You can see in April, it took, a while. But once it finally got on the other side of this, of course, the market had to go the right direction too. They're going to have to be in the right stocks, but we'll see. All right, so that's alt Y. Now let's look at blocks and put it under the same microscope. Okay, so blocks under the same microscope has also not been any great shakes. It's under its 200-day moving average. So blocks has been in a bear market, and this is dividends factored in, even considering the dividends. Okay, which you have to factor in the dividends. But even factoring that in, the investment's been in a downtrend. However, you got back above water on, or at least back above the moving average on the investment. You're above water on the investment, but now you're trending back up, back in a trending up direction, and have been for a while on blocks. Good job, blocks. Now K yield. Really hasn't been around enough, but it is over its short-term moving average. So and of course, when I started seeing how well K yield was doing, I was adding to it, and now it's my largest position. K yield, and then next was blocks. My largest long position, I should say. All right, Mayor, yes. Do I want to hear something stupid? Yeah, I do. And Brad says nothing special was tied up at work. Man, work is just so inconvenient. If work could be so much better if it wasn't at the same time the market was open. I mean, why do they have to make work during when the market's open? It's ridiculous. No, I'm with you. Mayor says, want to hear saying stupid. The price of silver is different in China and the rest of the world. That market alone, China's silver is $10 higher. Really? Now that is interesting. Have something to do with who knows, tariffs or trade policies or exchange rates or something. But anyway, or also because silver's transport cost because it's heavy. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of things. Coinbase just added sports. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Yeah, I'll tell you what. But it was before COVID, actually. I don't know if any of you guys got in on this, but IBKR had like a pilot program. And what it was options, but it was options on ball games. And my buddy and I, or the guy whose big white dog that is, it was one winter, I think it was the winter of 2019. And it was like around Thanksgiving and Christmas. It was during basketball season. It was so much fun. You could get in there and the option would expire at 1. So you could either be on the Bulls or you could be on the Rockets, and maybe at the start of the game, the Rockets were 55. The option contract cost 55 cents for the Rockets and it cost 45 cents for the Bulls. Or really it costs 46 cents because they're going to jack you. They're going to, they have a little bit of a spread on the difference, but you get my point. Or there's a difference in the bid and ask. Somehow they squirrel a little bit of money for themselves. But man, that thing was so fun because you could sit there on your phone, and as the game went on, you could play it. So you could have a team that would go on a run, but then you could buy the dip in the other team. But man, I tell you what, that was so fun and so addicting. They're binary options. I know they have them on other things, but binary options on sports. Anyway, it lasted like 3 months. They canceled it. They never brought it back out. And but man, I'm hoping it comes out sometime. It was a blast. Options on sports. So I would love to do it on football games. You could tell in the flow of the football game. Sometimes you're like, man, this team's going to come back. I'll be a son of a gun. You know what I'm saying? And you could buy an option on the team for the end of the game. Because like the team's trading at 30 or something because their quarterback just got sacked and then they got a penalty. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know BR knows what I'm saying. BR would be all over it, and I bet SB would be too. Max, all right. No, I haven't. I did do. No, I did do one of these. China is. I'm really trying to focus on my content. My content's gone downhill, but I'll do some earnings streams. But I didn't even have time to look at them. I didn't have time to look at them. I just had a bunch of other stuff going on. I put one that I was thinking about an option strap, but I mean, so in other words, so that definitely doesn't count because. But I was showing it to, so I think it was BR or not BR, SB was on the show the other night, last night, and he was talking straddle strangle swaps, and so I thought I said maybe a person could do it. Does Apple have earnings this week or is that next week? Anyway, I just show what one would look like in Apple. I don't know who has earnings tomorrow. Let's just do one on paper, straddle strangle swap, and see if we can hit it. So because tomorrow's Thursday. Well, shoot. Uh, no, anyway. So if you would have done one of these on Tesla, let's say you probably would have lost money because usually what happens after earnings, the volatility collapses, and volatility collapses, and lots of times you'll end up losing money, um, unless you get the outsized move. I mean, so anyway. But the reason I like this trade and the reason I saved it is because you could do it for a credit. So you're long in both directions, and you can take an initial credit, $529, and take your wife to dinner. We'll see. But no, I thought about doing something like that. But that's just like, I mean, it's just like tossing a coin. I mean, and I like to do those, but I tried to avoid coin tosses. Anyway, you're up 73% on your case, Sylvia. I'm in at 25. I just looked at my fills today. It was 25 something. And yeah, so I could, it's trading at 57. I could have sold half my position at 50. And I said, oh, I threatened to do it. And I could have sold a little bit less than half my position today. And I thought about doing it. But anyway, maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Jeff says China knows silver's needed in semiconductors, data centers. Elon has warned about this for weeks. Buy silver lows and highs period. Yeah. I mean, maybe we could have Tuttle bring out an inverse. Maybe we could have Tuttle bring out an inverse silver fund, an inverse silver income fund. Because when this thing busts, it's going to be spectacular. But I mean, but until then, it's a fun ride. It is a fun ride. All right, what else are we talking about today? Trying to think. Let's look over at. Hang on a second. Let's look over at Stock Tools. Oh, I know you guys can't see that. Or wait. I don't know you guys can't see that. I think maybe you guys can't see that. Let me check back for you guys. Oh no, you guys can see that. All right. Okay, let's compare all of these. This is a giant buffer report. We're going to compare everything to each other. And we're going to do a 1 day time period. And then we're going to do a 1 month time period. I'm going to freak out that Moderna or Murny's number one on the 1 month time period. How's that even happen? There's no way that's even right. I'm going to pull up a chart. It's got to be a data error. It's got to be a data error. Well, here we go. All right, here we have it. RBLY based on Roblox. Good job. Catch a lot of upside. BTGD killing it, catching all the upside of its parent. It really has two parents. What Rob needs to do on here, and he can do this, is he watches the show. So Rob, if you're watching, you need to have a parent that's 100% IBIT and 100% GLD somehow. I mean, it would be easy to do. You just say, you just make this number here equal the change of both of them. Plus, added together. The product, not the product, the whatever. Anyway, hopefully Rob's watching. Rob's a good guy. Go get this software, stocktools.app. I have an affiliate code, stocktools.app/Max. You get a free month. I love this. I love using this every day. AIYY. You could see, I mean, you can build your own spreadsheet, but this just is so much easier for me. Anyway, you can see what's doing. Seppi was killing it today. Man, Seppi had a good day. That's good to see. GDXY had a good day. Of course, NV2 from Rex. NV2 beat NVDW. Wow, that doesn't happen often because Rex only does, they use leverage. They both use leverage, but Rex only does half the portfolio override strategy. But whatever, so you would think they should beat it all the time, you would think, but they don't. To be honest, though, usually the W's beat the Rexes. I mean, that's been what I noticed. There's old Soxy right there, doing well. Look at all blocks, killing it, up 1.3. Heck yes, TSYY up 1.2. I was just joking what I said about granted shares could work for certain people. It depends on what you're looking at. And so could YieldMax. Like I say, and not all of the YieldMax funds anyway are created equally. Some of the YieldMax funds, do great on NAV and don't overpay in dividends, but a lot of them do. All right. But yeah, good job, TSYY. Snowy beating Snowflake, or not beating Snowflake, but doing well. NVDY. All right, let's look at the 1 month so I can freak out. All right, Andre, I'll check out the chart for the dollar. Let's look at this 1 month first. Is the dollar moving as much as Moderna is? I mean, Moderna 45% return in a month. You've got to be kidding me. Let me see if anything else comes close to that. Now, the next biggest underline is GDX moved 30 cents, 30% a month. Anyway, all right. So yeah, that's impressive. That's impressive. All right. So I'll stop fangirling on Murney. I don't have any. I don't have any, so I will stop fangirling. Let's look right here. Yep, blowing up. Let's look at a monthly chart of the dollar. I want to get a longer term perspective on the dollar. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you wanted to look at the dollar, Andre. I'm like, okay, we can look at the dollar, USD, DXY. See, okay. All right, my bad. You want to look at USD, the ETF. I'll put your comment up there so people understand what's going on. Oh, okay. Well, no wonder. Yeah, that's more impressive than my fund. That's more impressive than the one I was looking at. The dollar's getting murdered. Yeah. Good call there. Good call there. Yeah, Taz saying, thanks for the hours you put in. Do you ever sleep? Yeah, I do. I slept last night from about midnight till about 7. I usually sleep about midnight or 1 and wake up about 7 or 8. Let's see here. We need updates on the new date. Oh, yes. Well, I need to put out some content on it too. Yeah, Marcus's updates are better than mine. I'm not saying that, but I need to put out. I've got to get some content out. I'm just screwing around too much. Andre, you just do okay. Yeah, I got that. That's good. good looking fund there. Who would think? Who would think that Mini would turn into a star? Oh, that MMY would turn into a star. What the heck's MMY? Is it like a meme coin or something? I don't even see anything on the U.S. stock exchange. Mummy Finance. Oh, there's a NASDAQ. Make my anyway. Oh, Moderna. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't. I'm too far away. I see now. I can see MRNY. Or yeah, I see it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. K-Silv will beat Murray. I'll show up in about 60%. Heck yes, I'm all about it. I love K-Silv. I got it the second I could. It's part of the reason I sold GDXY. And GPTY. So I actually did pretty well on that. I need to get some Granny. There's a lot of things I'm looking at, and Granny is definitely one of them on the list. All right. I don't get the updates, comment, but it's probably something that I said and whatever. Neos new booster. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. No, that's the kind of updates we want. Yeah, exactly, Parkus. Tell us what's going on. What do we need? What kind of fund do we need to buy? You were all over some of those ones early. I had a good early pick on QLDY and some of the other ones, but not so much on some of the other ones. Hang on. Yeah, I thought of something else I wanted to show you guys. It reminded me because somebody asked me, how's your blocks doing? And I wanted to just talk. I don't really want to talk about how my blocks is doing, but I think it's doing all right. But I just want to make a few comments on blocks generally. And I brought it up earlier, and I was going to show you guys something. I thought it'd be a good comment for the afternoon show. Okay, so blocks is a beast because look at this. So, all right, let's take off dividends. So this is the chart most people see when they see blocks. And that's, it's not super great. It started at 19. It's been as low as 16. So, you could have got a margin call. You could have got scared and sold. That's a gigantic drop. It dropped from 28 to 16. So it wasn't great for a while, for sure. Since then, it's bounced back. It's back to about 19. So, whatever, not super great there. Now, that of course, is without dividends factored in. This thing doesn't pay a huge dividend, but it's paying, 13 cents a week. So, so that adds up 12 cents a week. But the key to thinking about this one, I think, is, okay, once you apply it for dividends, it doesn't make that big of a difference. Because it makes it as if you bought it for $15.67. So it means there's about $3.50 worth of dividends. So it essentially lowers your entry by $3 by the amount of the dividends. And right now, here's the price to close that today, 1941. That's how they adjusted for dividends. But it shows you where your investment is. Because if you would have bought it here, including dividends, you've been right here. Now, here's what's so impressive about that. Here's what my case on this is David is actually generating true alpha against the market and true outperformance versus the market, in my opinion. And I think this chart illustrates it. I was going to make a video on this, but then a longer video, but I thought it's just a good sub. We'll talk about it on the live stream tonight. So this is IBIT. And, blocks is pretty much based on crypto. So, IBIT's gone from 60 to 50, so that's, what's that, 13% or something? Not great. This thing, on the other hand, is even if you don't factor in dividends. So that makes me think that, so he's doing a better job. He's picking stocks that are outperforming the broader Bitcoin market, and which is awesome, because he's mixing in some higher risk ones and doing a great job. But either way you look at it, and then if you look at it with dividends reinvested, because remember, IBIT doesn't pay a dividend. So IBIT, you're down about 13%. You look at this with dividends reinvested, you're essentially in at 15, and right now it's trading at 19 and a half. So you're up 4.5. You're up like, this investment's going really well. People that bought this on day one are up, but 15% or something, something like that. So whereas if you're just blindly in crypto on the same day, and I'm not picking on IBIT. I mean, let's look at HODL, see if it's the same with HODL. It's even worse with HODL. Let's look at well, of course, this is the wrong HODL. That's a different HODL. Forget about that. I think that's the wrong HODL. But let's look at let's just look at Coinbase Bitcoin. Okay, just compare these with each other. Well, now that's still HODL. Gosh darn it. Hang on here. My bad. Hang on. I know what I did. Hang on. And compare this with COIN, not that. BTC. All right, now. Okay. So you can see, had you gone to Coinbase and bought coins the same day, there's around 104. You're underwater. This Blocks is a heck of a good fund. I mean, it's generating true outperformance against the market. I mean, that's what I expect. I mean, that's what I like to see. All right, so looks like a really good swing trade candidate. Yeah. Have you heard anything from Rec Shares about their growth? No, I haven't. There's a real generic prospectus out there that could really kind of cover anything. It kind of seems like to me, but I think it's for it. It doesn't really get much information. So anyway, all right. So I haven't heard anything that Blocks has a range to trade on. Yeah, or you could just allocate to it because the manager obviously is, or if you believe in crypto like I do, you have to be bullish on crypto. But crypto's gonna, let's say you're bullish kind of long term on crypto and that kind of stuff, and especially as long as Trump's still in office and stuff, or especially so yeah, bullish on crypto. And David's, to me, done a pretty dang good job so far. He hasn't paid out so much that's made the NAV, it's driven the NAV into the ground. I mean, not yet. Now, it hasn't been out a long time. I mean, but, wouldn't it be wise for Blocks to pay less? Well, they only pay like 30 or something, right? They don't pay a whole lot. They pay 13. What's 13 times 52? Hey, the iPad's not here. Oh, because Siri was talking to me yesterday. I wonder if Siri, hey, Siri, what's 13 times 52? It's like
13 times 3 is 39.
She's terrible. All right, thank you. No, but I don't. I mean, I think Blocks pays about. I mean, I'm happy with what they pay. I mean, but Blocks isn't for everybody. I mean, it's one of the highest risk ones out there. I mean, if you were in Blocks, I mean, there was a point this summer where it dropped from 25 to 15. And that's from October 10th to November 20th, a month and a half. And that's even with dividends. And even if you would have held it, it's bounced back to about 19 and a half. So, I mean, no, this is a risky one. But the reason that it's doing this doesn't have anything to do with the dividends. I don't think they're paying too much. I think that they're actually doing a good job. The reason this happened, of course, is because, Bitcoin dropped from 130 to 85 over the same time frame. Really, on a percentage basis, Blocks did way better than Bitcoin. Way better. Just killed. I mean, but they still did really bad. They still did super bad. So, all right, Andre, you have 35 shares of Blocks. It's actually performing better than Bitcoin. I love Blocks. I mean, but also I'm an option fanboy. So part of the reason I love Blocks is because of what they're doing. And I'm looking at I'm a trader fan. I like David's philosophy on life. He was on Fox Business again today. I like David's politics. I like everything about David. I just think since day one I've liked that fund. Not to mention yet in the uncapped upside, it's a no-brainer. right. Max, you're the lucky one. Silver just hit the all-time high of 120 per ounce. Yeah, gosh. Not yet. Okay, Marcus is going to keep us in touch. And we got retire on dividends in the house. Hey, Rod, thanks for being here. All right, Marcus is saying the new boosted will really push Niels's reputation. Yeah, well, I mean, so what do you guys think about? Yeah, I mean, just think about it. Think that Round Hill had probably a better reputation before they brought out. Well, I don't know though. I was thinking Round Hill may have had a better reputation before they brought out WPay. There's now some Round Hill haters, I think. But now that I think about that, uh, I don't know. WPay is actually probably is also really helped Round. A lot of people love WPay and have done well in it. I'm not trying to trash WPay, but yes. So Niels has such a reputation for being solid. Well, your my philosophy is, you guys know, is the how solid the fund is directly correlated with how much yield it pays out. And so, less is better, but you want to pay out enough to make it interesting to investors. So it's the eternal question. Neos is going to boost it by about 50%. You think about it, it's going to have a SPY-I product that will pay, instead of 12, it'll pay 18. So whatever, that's good. But the thing is, it's going to add volatility to it. But the thing is, SPY-I is pretty dang safe. I don't, even with 20% extra volatility, it might still be, it's not, I don't think it might not ruin it. But I know what you're saying. It's going to make the boosted one's not going to be as reliable as SPY-I. I'm with you on that. You remember how we were looking at blocks and all those ones, and we're saying get out when it goes under the 200-day, like any of them. Well, SPY-I has never been under the 200-day. It hasn't been under the 50-day. Okay, and that's because they sell monthly options, and it doesn't have as big of a capping effect. It's just the way the math works out. So for them, I'm trying to think, if you added in, if you added in 50% volatility, it would make them more volatile. And I bet it would make a chart where they would have gone under the two, they would have like a rougher chart here, but it would still go the same general direction as long as the market does. Now, the cool thing about the SPY is it avoided any of the Bitcoin damage. People that are tech fanboys like me and Bitcoin fanboys got destroyed in the fourth quarter because tech, and I'm not saying SPY didn't have tech in it, but I mean, but the bigger tech held up better, and so I would say, well, why can't they do this? Why can't they put out the boosted SPY-I that also has puts, that's also a hedged equity? Like they have this one. They have SPY-H. Okay, so which is SPY-I, but it's hedged. They spend part of the proceeds from the calls on puts. Won't totally lock out the downside, but it locks out part of it. You can see here in this pullback, they didn't get as close to the 200 days as the unhedged one did. You can visually see that. Yeah, the unhedged one hit the 200-day, it hit the 200-day. But anyway, so I don't think the extra leverage will be a problem, because it's so. Even when it has a rough time, like back here in, what was that? December of 2024. That was, or the worst part was March of 2024. SPY-I went from 45 to 38. So that's 7 points on, that's not too bad. That's now it went under the 200-day though, so it can happen to SPY-I. But I don't think the boosting leverage will make that big of a difference. But here's the way we can look at it. The boosting leverage would probably make this drop about 50% more. But really, this drop is nearly 47 to 37. It's 10 points on 47. So it's about 20%. So I guess that's not nothing. If you use the leverage one, this would have dropped about 30%. So, I mean, but you'd also get a little bit more income along the way. So, Andre wants to buy the boosted funds from Neos. The Tap Alpha beat him to it. Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't think those are equivalent funds. I'm going to say the Tap Alpha funds are more aggressive because they're use daily options. Now they're uncapped at night and they have good things about it. They might even do better. But if you put more of a premium on safety, but I don't know though with the leverage from the Neos versus the way Tap Alphas, it'd probably be very close. But yeah, you just wanted to go with which one came out first or whatever. Um, yeah, I'm surprised they do that much leverage too. It will literally make this drop from 20% to 30%. So, but in the yield of high yield funds, a 30% drop isn't that bad. I mean, what do you think blocks dropped during this time period? Well, I don't know if blocks was around, but what do you think Alti dropped during this time period? Now, Alti has protected downside. It may not, but it wasn't pretty. I mean, it wasn't pleasant. Alti probably did better than some of the others. I was saying Alti may not be a great example. 38 to 26. So it dropped 12 points on 38. It dropped a third. It dropped about 30%. So I think that you might see with the new SPY boosted product, you might see drawdowns more in the line of this, but anyway, so whatever. But I mean, it's glorious on the way up. It's not like Alti didn't recover all that profit and make a heck of a lot more, So anyway. SB's in the house. Blocks is still doing great, people. Yeah. Okay, Marcus, you were telling me yesterday, tell people that Blocks isn't decaying. And I wasn't going to go that far. I didn't want to get in the middle of it. But did you see my little presentation I just gave on Blocks and how they're actually generating? You can see David's actually picking stocks and doing strategies that are outperforming the markets. You are not just getting your own money back in that one, So that's as good as I can do. But so in other words, I'm agreeing with you. We're on the same page. Blocks is amazing. Bondsman buying miners, all of the above. SB is awake. All right. All right. So you say you understand why they didn't want to cap Tap Alpha's 30%. So they're doing 50. Oh, they didn't want to copy. Yeah. So they're going to 50. And also, to be fair, though, the Neo strategy itself, the beginning strategy, is safer. Probably about 20% safer. I mean, literally, because they use monthly options. Monthly options are super safe. And just the way they do it is the gold standard of that. That's the best way to have a chance of outperformance is the 2% out of the money monthly option, or the 30 delta. And there's indexes out there. I've seen benchmarks that beat the SPY over the course of many years with those parameters. So that's kind of the gold standard, but it's also super safe and it doesn't cap the upside very hard. Well, what I'm thinking is they can afford to hit it with 50%, and it might have the same effect as 30% on Tap Alpha's slightly riskier strategy. Yeah, so now we have options, no pun intended, of course. These are all facts. Is it still monthly? I didn't know. I mean, good question. Hopefully somebody answers that. GDX still has more room to run. I hope so. I hope the gold and silver do because I'm going to hold them while longer. Why do people like WPay over XPay? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I've talked to a lot of people that like XPay, and I've even kind of softened my stance on XPay. I could see a use for it in some cases. All right. All in and what materials processing. Yeah, Roddy, how's the Roddy going? Rod, I should say. Rod, how's the Roddy going now? What stocks are you guys in? Are you guys in Qubits? And what are you guys in right now? Hey, thanks for I appreciate the super chat, Andre. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll get a Cash App. I'll get a Cash App. Also, it saves me a percent. It saves me from having to pay YouTube, or YouTube takes a cut. But whatever. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, bud. You're the man. So, oh yeah, Neos will ever do my, yeah. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. So what was I talking about? Why is Neos so safe? Because of the monthly options. The thing is with monthly options, they only expire once a month. So, you know, so they say they can have to do monthly for that reason, but they could easily, or I don't know if they could, YieldMax could easily still do monthly options, but just do weekly tranches. So every week you have a tranche expire and you pay the yield with that week's tranche. In fact, that's why Big Y does so well. Big Y is just killing a lot of things. I mean, you can, Big Y uses monthly options and they don't overwrite the whole portfolio. Monthly options plus not overriding the whole portfolios, another method that gives you a chance of outperformance. Big Y at various times is outperforming the SPY. I mean, Big Y is a monster. So like I say, monthly options, partial override, monthly options. I think actually, to be fair, Neos does partial override too. I saw Brad mention it. Big Y versus the SPY. Well, we have a change. We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Big Y versus the SPY. I mean, it's who is it? It's the SPY. But I mean, Big Y is one of those ones that's like QLDY, and it doesn't use lightning spreads, and Big Y is totally capped. They use but they use a partial override and they use monthly options, so the total cap doesn't matter that much. The non-spread capped doesn't matter that much. Anyway, that Big Y is a superstar we never talk about. Okay, so I was asking Rod what he's in. Oh yeah, MP, USAR, NAK, TMF. I thought you guys were in another one too. No, USAR. That's right. I was talking to one of your group members, but I'm going to keep it. But I'm not going to keep it to myself. Who it was, but yeah, I was talking with the Roddy aficionado last night, and yeah, no, those you guys are. I love what you're doing with that. The worst thing you can do is buy a bunch of high yield funds. Boosted SPY I and Boosted SPY H gives you SPY. Yes, it goes stays monthly, but that is kind of lazy. Them they just don't want to do weekly because they have $5 billion under management. You know how easy I would think it would be. That's the first question I would ask their manager, just because I want to ask stuff that other people don't think about asking. But I would, not that it really makes a difference, but to be competitive, they could probably have 10 billion under management if they went. I mean, they're very successful, but there's people that probably won't buy them because they're monthly. But so Big Y is the same thing. It's monthly. Next to when I asked Mike Coe to come on the show, or somebody from YieldMax to come on the show. So that'll probably be like the week after next. I'm going to ask them that Big Y needs to go weekly. This ridiculous. They can do multiple tranches, although these guys probably can't because no one likes YieldMax. So, or no one likes this fund anyway. So there's only like 10 million under management or something. It's a tiny fund, I mean, the 401k of the secretary at Tidal has more AUM in her 401k than Big Y has in its so it can't do tranches, but something big like Neos could absolutely tranche it out and have options expiring every day, or I mean every week, and then you don't pay weekly. All right, you don't think Neos? Yeah, I don't think so either. Neos, I mean, they're kind of the, they're the kind of the gold standard. I mean, I mean, it was JP Morgan for a while, and JP Morgan is still good, and the Goldman Sachs, and there's still some gold standard funds, and T-SPY and TDAC are getting some of that gold standard type business and stuff, but not really. I mean, Neos is killing it. Neos is killing it. All right. So yes, Max, like Max said, SPY lift is ODTE. SPY boosted is just pure leverage. And well, but I thought SPY boosted was leveraged. But I thought that the Neos funds were going to use synthetics to give themselves 50% more stock, not really stock, but 50% more exposure to the market, and then sell options on it. So I think that, I think it's both. I think that it's, I think the ODTE, I think on the lift, they'll use the ODTE, but won't they boost their ODTE? I thought they used leverage on both of them. They're just going to use 30% on the T-SPY and 50 on the other. But I wasn't just disagreeing with the pure leverage part. I think there's also an income component in there. I think. Rod, now we sell them. Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, then we got a $10 super sticker. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, I'm cleaning up. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you, bud. And of course, I appreciate Andres as well. All right. Yeah. Good job, Tasman. Otherwise known as Jeff. Taz's name is Jeff. Okay. I actually know a Taz in real life. A guy named Taz. I lost track of him about 5 years ago, but he went back to the East Coast somewhere. I think he went to Georgia. Anyway. All right. I've been doing puts on SILJ. Oh, really? So you've been writing some puts to buy some silver miners, the junior silver miners. That's nice. SLJY, declare yet or declare destroy yet or distribution? Oh, yeah. SLJY, declare distribution yet. I got you. Well, I don't know. Let's see if let's see here. Well, this isn't the right part to look for declare because they probably. The last one was that, they probably have. It just may be, or, I don't know. Probably maybe tomorrow we'll hear about it. We'll keep an eye out for that. Last time it was 52 cents. The week before that, it was 57 cents. Then it was 46. Then it was 48. You guys want to see something else that's interesting that I think that's not going to rise to the level of making a video about it? I mean, I could easily do it, I guess, but WPay. Well, actually, I may do a video on that sometime. Never. I may do it. I may do a video. All right. Let's see here. SLJY is a very solid fund. You're waiting on the gold and silver funds next month from X Fund. X Fund is, X Fund's an uncapped upside. They're uncapped upside bros. So we got X Funds and Tuttle are the big uncapped upside guys. Right. Is there anyone else? What else do we got? And also Sylvia over at Defiance. And that's not Sylvia, it's Jay. Like I say, Jay thought up the lightning spread. I know lots of people don't like Yield Next, whatever. Jay thought up the lightning spread, and it was just one of his best ideas ever. And like I always say, I heard about it a year before it came to all the way out. And he didn't. Obviously, that idea had been thought up before. People have done every type of option combination you can think of, but no ETF had been doing it. He thought up the idea. There actually was somebody else doing the same thing, but it wasn't an ETF. It was a freaking, not a hedge fund. It was a wealth manager doing it for a rich family and some other people and loving it. Anyway, it's a great idea. Okay, Rod is slinging Roddies everywhere. I'll love to hear it. I love to hear it. SoFi, yeah. SoFi was the one that I suggested to my friend that I was talking to. It's not in here, so I don't want to put him on blast. But SB Trader, I'm retired recently, so avoid as much work as I can right now. Yeah. once a week, 30 minutes. Well, yeah, I mean, it depends though. I mean, you can also be obsessed with it and spend all your time studying. And I mean, but yeah, I hear you. It can also become a lifestyle, but I also use it as something to keep me busy in retirement. I'm more worried about, I mean, I like to, devil hands or what is it? Idle hands are the devil's playground. And that's and also just keeping active in retirement and keeping your mind active. It's good. I plan to do this for a while. Yes, Bond is tired of my BS. I hear you on that. I hear you on that. SB Trader, I may look into it, but you like paying someone else to do it. Yeah. Um, let's see. Synthetic, long, plus options. Okay, yes, I love that. And so, which conversation does that go with? Anyway, let me just try to catch up with you guys. I'm Bond 100% on Michael on what getting Michael Coe back on here. But anyway, yeah, I asked him back on here. I sent the letter right before the show. Hopefully by tomorrow we'll have a date. It'd probably be a couple of weeks, but whatever. We'll get him on the schedule. We've got to get through this interview with Tuttle. This interview with Tuttle is going to be a big one. I was real disappointed with my interview with old Quantify. I mean, we love those funds, but it didn't get any. No one watched it. So but I've downloaded the video and I'm going to cut it into clips and load short clips and maybe see if people. I don't care about the money either. I really don't. It's frustrating when no one watches it, but I'm embarrassed when a fund manager comes on my show and it doesn't get any because it looks bad on me. The first time Jay came on my show, he got like 5,000 views. It looked great. Everyone loved it, whatever. But I had the Quantify guys on who I thought we had a great talk. I love those guys. But it got, it didn't. I was disappointed. I was disappointed. Anyway, too much. What now would TGA TV make them too much? I don't get that. Hey there. Appreciate that. SB. SB gave me a super sticker. Heck, I'm cleaning up tonight. I've got 2 super stickers, and I don't even know what I call them super chats because I hear other influencers say that. There's probably a difference between a chat and a sticker or whatever. So it was the one that, okay, so this one right here, no, it's a super sticker too. So what's a super chat do? It gives you the ability to, or you just say that and then you answer questions from the people that give you those, or anyway. WPay just doesn't work because of the underlying. Yeah, and not only that, so the underlines are leveraged. WPay is not based on MicroStrategies or strategy. It's based on MSTW, which is leveraged. So it's just, yeah. So, and whenever those are sucking, they're really sucking. But yeah, that basket has not been doing well. But once again, though, that basket's heavy into the Yield Max basket and I'm just saying the other side of that is if you looked at the Round Hill basket of stocks and you looked at the Yield Max basket of stocks, they're heavily overweight crypto, probably double what any index is, and that's so it's hurting those guys. But it's like somebody said earlier, why can't they just throw in XDT, QDT? And I said, why don't they throw in everything? Why don't they throw in XPay? Throw in every fund they have. Throw in every income fund they have and call it the Round Hill. Call it the Roddy round or now you won't call it Roddy, but you call it RDHY or what, Round Hill Income, Round Hill High Income, RD Highway, basically Roddy, whatever, RDHY. Yeah, you're doing great having non-capped upside right now. Although to be fair, K-Seals is a covered call fund, so technically it's capped. Although Howard does things to make it where the cap doesn't hit him really at all. But anyway, yeah. So but you aren't capped at all. You just buy the silver miners, you're set. Yeah, very good. WPay is horrible. Use ETF competitors. Rec shares didn't have much ROC, so mostly taxed income. And Bold, Tahoe, Texas, 100% rock isn't the, oh, really? Mostly taxable. Well, I hate to hear that. I mean, it's kind of a good thing too, because I think it means the fund's probably generating more real money. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, even though there's lots of rock that really is real money also, but I don't even want to get into that. But yeah, but yeah, that's maybe it's better for maybe it's better for an IRA. Hey, DGen, everyone's in the house now. Yeah, we got everyone. We don't have ambassador here. And we got fish. I'm looking for everyone, but I mean, yeah, but we got substantially a lot of people in the house. We do. It's a good crowd tonight. We have 28 people. This is one of my best live streams in a while. I've been working on that. I really have a great video coming out, but I mean, I'm going to try to show. It's about, it's about diversifying your high yield portfolios and choosing uncorrelated assets and looking at things like trend following and that kind of stuff. And it actually, I don't know if it looks good from here, but I promise it's a good video. I'll record it tonight. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited about it. I've been working a lot on it, and I did a special report that I'm going to put on my Patreon. Anyway, so all right. Lays, yes, Lays is incredible. Lays is the semiconductor stacked fund. No income, yes. Lays is just, what was it, AMD and NVIDIA or something? Yeah, no income. Yeah, ISBG is a monster. So both of the ISs are. But the BG, I mean, my gosh. Of course, you know me, Mr. Conservative. I wanted to have some stock exposure to. I really do love the market. But anyway, Bitcoin, stocks and Bitcoin. I'll do fine in this one too, hopefully. I don't know. But yeah, I guess I chose the wrong one. I thought I got BG, but I was looking at my field and I was deciding I should have got both of them. I should just get the other one tomorrow. I don't know though, but I think the reason I didn't is because gold's in such a freaking yeah, because I'm trying to reduce my gold exposure. That's why I did. So I have stocks in Bitcoin, and I am a long-term Bitcoin guy. I mean, or whatever. For some reason, I am. Maybe I'm stupid to be. Anyway, you did the same, Andre, with the round hill name. Not much smarter buying. Here, Capper's next to. Oh, copper's next to explode. We need a copper income fund. Copy, COPY. HOW is your only loser. It was doing well until 2 weeks ago. I mean, that leverage is tough. But I always said the thing about them is they don't use what I would say is too much leverage. But maybe I was wrong because it was enough leverage to scare me out of my WPay position. I mean, it was too much leverage for me. I don't have enough hair on my chest for whatever it was doing. So maybe I was wrong about that. But there's things to use a lot more than 20% a week. There's things to use 50% a day, like the new boosted funds. But anyway, you sold for loss in WPay? Yeah, me too. Me too. The midnight one was busy. What is that? I don't get that. Anyway, I'm not in on that combo. You've been hearing Tidal is the problem for some of these funds. A lot of people think that, but I mean, Tidal does blocks. I just showed it. I think it's a fund by fund basis is what I'm saying. I mean, Big Y is almost outperforming the SPY. That's Tidal. There's a lot of good Tidal ones, but yeah, but you aren't the only one that thinks that. Okay, what's the idea behind BTGD? You could just get 2x on each. Okay, yes, you can, but guess what? Guess how much that cost you? You could absolutely you could go find an ETF that's double gold, and you could go find an ETF, spend $100 on that. Okay, you got double gold. then you could go find an ETF that's double Bitcoin. And double, there is one. It's Beto, right? Beto's double Bitcoin, right, or something. Anyway, so you go buy that. Okay, badass. I'm double both of them. Well, you spent $200. What the fund does is it borrows money and it spends $100, and it gives you $100 of each of them. So you're fully in. So you're just leverage. I mean, and which is crazy because when Bitcoin and gold go down at the same time, and they will someday, it's going to be just, I mean, a destruction of capital like you've never seen. But the idea is, though, that oftentimes the gold should buffer the Bitcoins, and Bitcoin being a risk asset and gold being so it's an interesting idea. But that's the idea behind it. Is they don't buy ETFs, but I was just saying that's how a person would do it. If a person did it, you could definitely get two ETFs and put them together, but you have to spend. So I guess the closest a person could do it is you could buy two ETFs, you could put it together and buy them on leverage. But what else these guys do, and the magic behind it is it's in how you balance it, because it gets way out of balance. And if you don't balance it all the time, and one of them goes up, then all of a sudden you're out of balance. You're three quarters in one of them and just a quarter in the other. And then all of a sudden, wonder if the one that's just a quarter goes back up, then you're underweight in that. I mean, I'm just saying. So they use futures and manage it like a hedge fund, sometimes multiple times a day. It's an interesting concept, but it's high risk. I would use small amounts of your overall portfolio because it's very possible that they could both drop at the same time and you're double levered in both of them in one instrument. So I mean, if you're thinking about putting 5% in your portfolio in it, it's as if you put 10% of your portfolio in it, in a sense, because you put 10 and you're double down on Bitcoin. Now, if they do great, if they double again over the next couple of years, you'll. All right. So Taz saying the way these funds are structured, the underlying is a parabolic rise because they're fully levered. Yeah, on the downside, but not levered to the upside. Okay, well, that's interesting. Yeah. Listen to what he said. He said it better than me. BTGD is $1 and BTC is $1. Yeah, so you get $1 in gold, but you also get $1 in Bitcoin for the same dollar, right? I mean, isn't that the deal? Anyway, all right. Jeff's out of here. Well, hey Jeff, thanks so much for the super chat, super sticker, whatever it's called. I'm getting ready to get out of here too. We've been going a while, and about an hour and a half, and I have an errand to run. I'm going to go get dinner, and then I have an errand to run. All right, Andre, what you sent Quantify about 5 emails asking about their stocks and golds and when it would debut, but they haven't got a response. That would be awesome. I think they filed for it, but anyway, they probably can't. It's probably nothing personal. They really, until it gets out of the quiet period, they can't comment on it. So they'll probably send you a form letter back, or maybe send you something back when it gets out of the quiet period. But maybe now they can. I'm just sticking up for them because they seem like pretty good guys. I like David, and I've been communicating with other people through the company. Anyway, but I'll see if I have any. I'll see if I have any way of figuring it out. I'll try to let you know, Andre. I'll see if I can find through a back channel, because stocks and gold would be interesting to me as well. Fish, Chippy, GDXY, and blocks are double digits for you. Heck yeah. Or up double digits, yeah. All right. Well, man, it's been a great live stream. Not only because of the super chats, just because we had a good time shooting the breeze. I liked what I showed you guys on blocks. I'm not just a blocks fanboy. I mean, everyone thought I'm a Yilmaz fanboy. Well, I like blocks also. I like lots of them. I mean, I'm kind of a Tuttle fanboy lately. My latest stock is and the jury's still out on these income stacked, but they are darn interesting and something you literally would have never had exposure to before. Remember, guys, it's not financial advice. Consult a professional advisor with all your financial planning needs. Also, I'm not even going to show that today. Well, I'll show it just in case. If you'd like to donate the station, you always can at paypal.me maxconvexity. You can also use super stickers, whichever one's fine. I always put the PayPal up here just because. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And I will talk to you guys later. Yes, Andre, it was a good stream. Thank you so much for participating. I will see you guys later. Oh, and don't forget, like and subscribe. Gosh darn it, I need to remember to take the darn comments down first. But I have to take the banners down too. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, don't forget, like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later.